I know on that light video, some of you told me to take it back to the guy that installed it. Based on what the Eagle Light Company said, I'm not sure he did anything wrong. One of the guys in the forums, might be you, I know there's a couple of you that respond to my videos that are on the same forums, said that the stock lights are like keyed in and have a grip. And I'm not sure that they, normally the guy returns everything to me, but I don't know where the stock lights are. They're probably in my office in a box maybe, but I haven't seen them. But I think the same person said that on the Eagle lights, it's just a round casing, and the clips don't really have anything to grip into. And that's what I found. I tried pressing them down a little tighter. I was a little hesitant to disconnect them completely, because then I might have some issues getting them in. This person did say that if I try to install the rubber gasket, I'll have to disconnect them. So the guy who installed them did offer to just fix that for me when the gasket comes in and give it a shot. My issue on the GoPro basically has been it'll record fine, but if I stop and cut it off, take the helmet off and then put it back on, something happens where it triggers it, the media mod isn't recognized. And you know, I push the remote, the microphone back in. I've gotten in this habit of pushing it in, but I don't think it's that. I think it's something to do with the order of turning things back on or something. Like all this footage, I have no idea if it's being properly recorded. One thing on my visor, again, I commented on this on a video that didn't get published because it didn't record, but I have actually three showy helmets, and on the one I'm wearing right now was my original, the full face, and I bought one of these photochromatic lenses that gets dark during the day and then brightens, clears rather, at night. And I really liked that because I didn't have to worry about whether I got caught out at night. And the problem with it is, like when the sun is straight on like it is right now, there's just times I wish that photochromatic was a little bit darker. It's fine 80% of the time. And it's not the showy brand because with COVID I couldn't find one. So I bought some, it wasn't necessarily cheap, it was cheaper than the showy brand, but I bought one off some website and it's been okay. I don't think the showy brand's that much darker from what I've read of reviews. So I swapped out for today's ride. I put on my, I had bought a darker visor. See all these nice and I think we planted some of these and mine aren't looking like that. I put on the darker visor, and I ended up putting one of my clear visors in the saddlebag just in case I get caught out. Now my range right now says 239 miles. Are you guys on these Springfields getting that sort of range on a full tank? So when I filled up with my gas back there, it was like, I took a picture of it, so I'll correct myself if I get it wrong. I think it was like 3.8 gallons, so I still had like a gallon to go, maybe a little more. And it was getting, I think, about 45 miles per gallon is when I did the math. And keep in mind, I've already ridden a bit after I filled up, so it's saying 238 now. I think a windshield is probably the last thing I need to figure out if I'm going to get for this bike. When you guys are on these country roads and see some guy coming up behind you, do you guys get over so they'll pass, or do you try to go faster? Some of these guys out here, a lot of teenagers, they'll tailgate really bad, and I don't trust them. So I end up I end up letting them pass sometimes because I don't trust them. I probably tend to still ride pretty conservatively, and I enjoy kind of looking around and worrying about the guy on your rear. I just tend to let them over. I go the speed limit out here, but as I've mentioned, when it comes to bicycling as well, a lot of people go a lot faster out here. Normally when I'm out on these roads, even this busy one, I usually don't have people behind me. But like when I'm going 63, 64, and I can see a guy, like it's happening now, that he must be going 70. It's like I don't feel that confident that I want to do that on this motorcycle. So sometimes I'll just peel off and kind of let them pass. There's not that many passing lanes on this road, and I don't want to frustrate them either, because I've been in their shoes, kind of want to get up the road. I'm liking these heated grips, that's for sure. This road will take me to Louisa, Virginia. Actually, I'm already in Louisa, but downtown Louisa. And there's a gas station. Sometimes I fill up there, and then I can just do a U-turn and come back to the same road, or there's a big loop I'll make sometimes. Sometimes I got to stop and put the navigation on, because I get kind of turned around. There's one or two routes I've started to remember. I've been looking at maybe getting a prescription pair of impact resistant glasses to wear. Some of the motor vloggers I've watched, Doodle and a couple others, mentioned I'm gonna screw up the name. I think it was like Fly Right or Air Flight or something. They make thinner frames so they'll fit easier in a helmet. They're also targeted to airplane pilots who wear headsets, you know, noise canceling headsets. And these things, normal glasses, can be kind of thick to get into these full face helmets. They're not cheap, but I think for particularly riding at night, even though my prescription is still, you know, fairly on the low side, I think the added, I don't have to wear them by law because I can see well enough without them, but I think I would feel better having them. But I am a little nervous about glass breaking in my eye, so I like the idea of these impact resistant ones. As you make a left here, it runs through a number of different counties, end up by going through Powhatan. I guess it might take you to Amelia. Go through Goochland and Powhatan. Sometimes I go that way depending upon what I'm doing. One of the things I've commented on that, I don't think it made it into the video because of the loss of the microphone, was that when I had the stock seat, when I would look down with my eyes would hit right here. And now, seriously, you couldn't wait, dude? Now, with this new seat, I'm seeing all the way down to here. And as lame as that is, I'm trying to understand what changed in my seating position. You know, a guy on one of the forums about this bike specifically said his eyes hit right here. And he has to turn his head. And I've made videos saying I don't like that I have to look down. And I'm trying to understand if I was higher and more erect like this or something. Because now, I mean, I look down, I see right there. It's not a huge issue. I see, it depends upon what I'm doing, but right there. Now you look at this. Isn't that a great thing for a bicycle? It's like, I'm nervous enough on the motorcycle and I can speed around and try to speed up. Bicycle, man, can't even, it barely gets any notice that thing is going up behind them. and that guy's gonna have to maneuver that thing or stop on a dime. But I'm just being intolerant. I'm intolerant and ignorant. They're putting in internet fiber lines using something with the power lines, and they're running some sort of internet out our way. Yeah, there you go. I think that's what they're doing here. I could be wrong. The wind and the rain also took out some people who had no power, but I think this is the internet line. So right now in the garage, it's easier for me to pull this bike out. If someone is in the other space, you know, if someone's not in the other space, I can do kind of a U-turn in and out with my Super Chief Limited. Otherwise, when both cars are there, I have to pull out one bike to get to I got to pull out this bike to get to the Super Chief. I almost rode the Super Chief Limited today just so I keep riding both of them, and that one definitely has a more nimble, speedy feel. This is more the cruiser. I'm still getting used to the added weight of this bike and kind of testing everything. I think I've got everything pretty much like I want it, except the windshield. Still might get a windshield, but otherwise I almost didn't ride this one today, but it was just easier to get it pulled out. I'm really debating whether to sell the other bike. Part of me feels like it's paid for, except for taxes and insurance all the time, so why not just keep it? But then there's taxes and insurance and maintenance. But I do like that bike. I like the way it looks. And we'll pull in here and put this navigation thing on.